Greg Nelson here at the new Bono Academy in Milan, Italy. I'm going to show just a very basic and effective technique against the cage to, again, put the person onto the ground and make sure they can't get away. Okay, so anytime the person is close to the cage, within a foot or 2 feet away, and I can immediately pounce on them, I'm going to make some sort of combination. Doesn't really matter what it is. Jab, cross, hook, whatever. But now once I'm here, I'm going to really drive my shoulder in. My shoulder's going to go right to his chest. Boom. All right, so now I get the pin. And what my goal is to get under this arm. So you cannot drop that arm down. My elbow's up. Now, I'm going to keep pressuring, and notice my head's on this side of his head. All right? So now he cannot move towards his left, and he can't move towards his right, because I got him trapped. Right? Now I'm going to drive my elbow up, and I get my underhook. So now I have my underhook, and notice I still have his head trapped. Okay? Now I grab his elbow or hand. Doesn't really matter which. I got his elbow or hand. And there's a lot of pressure that I have between his legs, and I have his head trapped so he cannot get away. Now at this point, I step around his leg, and I step slightly behind his leg. All right? So I'm just a little bit behind his leg. And now we always call this one the cheese grater. Right? Because this is like a grate, and I'm just going to cheese grate him down the cage. So I'm right here, and I just push him and drive him right down the cage. Drive. All right? Notice my palm, and I'm just rubbing my palm against the cage. At this point, I'm going to take my body and push so that his elbow is trapped. He cannot pull his arm out. And there should be, when I put a lot of pressure, it's going to be a lot of pain on his arm here. He gets trapped in between the cage. So I'm right here. So he cannot get his arm out no matter what. Now, it's easy for me to trap this arm. I can go over, or I can be right here and trap his arm. And now I have one arm free, and I can hit. All right, hammer fist. I can elbow, all right? I have total control at this point. So it's a very easy way. Many people get here and they do not use the cage, right? And all I'm doing is using my shoulder against the cage. And by his face, you can see that there's a lot of pain going against the joint right here. And you cannot pull his arm out. You cannot pull his arm out. Very simple, all right? And once I'm here, even when I move, I never release this. So I move up to my knee, I didn't release the pressure, so he cannot get away, he cannot shrink, he cannot turn. I can even come here and go to knee mount, never release the pressure, so he can just be hitting and hitting. So no matter where I move, the pressure is constant, 100% on his arm, so it's always trapped. That is what really is the key to keeping this guy on the cage, is trapping that arm against the cage. Okay, so it's again, a very simple way to take the person down, but the goal is we want to be able to use the cage to our advantage and make it very difficult for him to get away. And anytime you have something to use to your advantage, you want to take full advantage. It doesn't matter if it's a cage, if it's a mat, if it's a gi, whatever we have, we want to use it to our full advantage. So you working the cage is like another art. You're learning how to work the cage as a partner, not an enemy. Again, here we are at the Bono Academy in Milan, Italy.